Hello and welcome to the Sec Set. In this video I'm going to cover how I built lighting logistics in Minecraft. In this restaurant contraption you just have your storage system on the side. You can store any items that you want, like these ones I have here. Then you can use this display to set up a crafting recipe. For example, you can set up a lever crafting recipe. Once you have the recipe set up, you can just open this, which would be the actual crafting station. You can set up so your crafting recipe fits into that, and then you just need to either press the button or click the lever. Flick the lever will continue crafting this recipe until you unflick it. And if you press the button, it will just craft it once. It is for testing purposes, just do it this once. So you can see the first item is about to disappear. Now it's going to be gotten by that minecart and placed into here. And then the next item will be get picked from here. Also search through your storage system and set brought back here. Crafting it automatically. Have it here. And bringing the materials back. So for those of you interested in knowing how this machine works, it's still pretty slow. I have some ideas to improve it, but in this current version, this is the way I implemented it. So that if I click the lever, it will craft it again. As you can see, it's not the right order exactly, but that is only because when you input items, they get inputted in this order. It doesn't matter where your items were originally, but only the order stays. So what I mean when I say that only the order stays is that whenever I craft any item, the first thing that happens is that these items get picked up first by a hopper minecart, then it goes to the next, which are empty, until it finds this one, and then it picks up this item second. So in this case it would be stick and lever in that order, and they get inputted in that exact same order into a craft. But since the crafter has all of these slots filled like this, then they will be placed in the correct order. But since we cannot do that for in the crafter where we place our crafting recipe, when we're inputting back the items we collected, it will go, okay, we have a stick in here. I want to place it in with a hopper, so it will go into here. Then it will go, okay, what is the next item? In this case, it's a cobblestone. So where will that item go? Well, to the next slot, so here. So it will place here the cobblestone, here the stick, not here, because there's no easy way of doing that. But that doesn't break anything, since the next time when you try to craft, you go, okay, let's pick up the first item, which would be the stick here, and then it will go, place it, whatever, and then next loop it will go through, and since this cobblestone will be here, you go, okay, let's pick up this next item, which would be this item. So the order of the items is kept, just not the placement. But the placement is correct in the actual crafter, since we can lock slots in the crafter. You cannot do that in the recipe, but you can do it in the crafter that crafts the craft. So it is going to still work. As you can see, it's about to craft another one. Let's wait for a bit. It 100% works. I have another lever. Get back and another lever. So the first part of the step is having this hopper minecart in here. It will get filled by this hopper with powder snow all the way up. to its full. And then once your crafting recipe starts by pressing the button, it will get turned on by this lever with power, which will power it after a bit of delay. It will launch the minecart. After the minecart gets launched, a few things will happen. First, it will trigger this, which will basically trigger this redstone line, goes all the way to here and picks up just one item from the crafter into here. And then it will go from down from this hopper into this one. And then straight after that, it will go through this hopper, then we'll pick up only the first node. So it will remove this powder snow back. That way it will be reset back and we'll have only one slot available. So once it gets through here, since this will have the first item from the crafter, that will get into the hopper minecart, and then the minecart will only be able to get that item from your storage. Then it goes to your storage, and whenever it gets to a chest that has that type of item, it will simply pick it up and collect it all the way back to here. Once it gets to here, the first item will be picked up by this hopper and placed into this craft. That is just the storage. I'll explain what that does later. Then it will continue all the way up and again the next 3 items, because for some reason when hopper max speed goes below a chest, it will pick up between 3 and 2 items. I don't know exactly how many and every time exactly why. That's just what I tested back there. So that's why the first item gets stored to get back here for the next recipe. Then the next item will be placed into a craft. And the next 1 or 2 items, it depends, will get back through here back into your storage. That is just this. So we go back into your storage. But since we don't know if it's only 1 item or 2, if the second item that gets picked up to get back into the storage needs to get sorted, because it could be another copy of the item, or it could be it could be a powder snow, because as you can see it's filled with powder snow. So if it picks powder snow, this is basically a sorter, so that if it's filled with powder snow, we go down through this hopper minecart all the way down and back. And if it's not, go through this hopper all the way through here and back to your storage. That way we can sort the items, and the extra items just go back to your storage. Then the hopper minecart goes all the way back and triggers this, which I will talk in a second about it, and just wait for the next thing to happen. So now about this system. When it goes through here, through the red line, as you can see, it's pouring nothing. But that will get activated down here. How does that get activated? Well, this crafter is checked by this comparator, powering this redstone. And once it's empty, will power nothing, powering this redstone lamp. When that goes through here, it powers the piston, allowing the signal to go through. And once it goes through, that means that you have used up all of the items by the crafter, because the crafter is empty now. And also the minecart just went through here, which means that it just placed the last item, which means there's a craft happening right now. So when you're crafting, the crafted is empty because you have picked up every item one by one. The signal will go up through here and goes to two places. The first place is this clock. This, when it gets a signal, the redstone block moves, and it won't move back until this 10 cobblestone move all the way to here. And what moving this redstone block unlocks is this hopper. So as you may remember, when the open minecart goes up through here with the items, the first item gets placed into a craft. And that way, when the craft is done, we can unlock it and make sure all of the items in the correct order go back to the original craft. That way, even if we have a craft that uses more than one of the same item, it will still keep the order, since the crafter, when you place items in, it will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Even if the first lot is the same one as the fourth lot, you won't place it into the same place, so you can keep the order of the items being collected by it. And once the craft is ended, it picks up all of the items to the crafter and sends them back to here, so you can see your recipe. Another thing that also happens is that the redstone power goes up to here and resets the clock, so that the hopper minecart won't get powered anymore by this redstone line, and it will have to get powered back again. And that is exactly how you can do this. Basically, hopper minecart gets sorted so it picks up only one type of item through here, then goes through your storage, pickups, goes through all the chests until it finds that item, and once it finds that item, it picks up 3 or 2 items of that type. Then it drops off 1 to go back here once the craft is ended. Then it places 1 into the crafter to craft the actual recipe, and 1 or 2, depending on how many there are, go back to your storage. Now this chain is really slow actually, because it needs to go through each and every item that you want to craft, one by one, looping through the whole system and sorting them one at every time, which basically means that this system crafts any craft really slowly. But you actually manage to craft anything from your storage. It also has a problem that if you have any item in more than one place, it will break, because what will happen is that it will collect more items, and since we are only collecting the last 2 items, some will still remain in Hopper Minecart, breaking the system. So this system isn't great, but I think we have ways to improve it. I'm currently working on version 2 of this, which will be way faster, sending more than one mic at a time, being able to sort more than one item at a time, and it will also be able to not break when you have more than one row of the same item. We just collect everything, and everything will get sorted back except for powers. Now we go back here. Another problem that this system has that really has no solution, at least I can't think of one, is to sort unstackable items. Since Hopper Minecart cannot sort out items that are unstackable, there is no possible way I can think of doing that. But with this machine, you can actually just have automatic crafting for anything you want whenever you want in your base. You don't have to actually set up a new setup for every item you want every time you need them, and being able to turn them off and on and off and on. which makes no sense. So you could, even if you wanted to go back to your storage, let's say for example I just want this crafting recipe to turn oak into oak planks, do this, do this. As long as I have oak logs in here, we'll just sort out everything and I will get just a bunch of planks back. And basically, what you want to do if you want your crafting recipes to go straight back into your storage to refuel your storage while they're crafting on its own, what you want to do is, as you see, you have the oak log, and then you just have to break the crafter, place it facing into the chest, which will place the items back into your storage. Now, when you enable this, oh wait, you have to remember to also disable the extra slots to fit the crafting recipe, and we'll see oak log arriving here pretty soon. There, and now your planks go back up and back into your system, and you can use up your items from your storage to refill your storage. You could set up any recipe you want and it will work. And to place any to resetting this crafting recipe back, you just have to break the crafter, place it there, and now you have this nice crafting grid looking thing, which in my opinion looks way better, but is not inputting items back. Thanks for watching, and if you like the video consider liking and subscribing, since this is my first video in this channel, so you would be helping me a lot. And make sure to comment down below if you need any help or problems that you have. The Redstone world will be in the description down below, but it will also include some other things that you really don't need to worry about. So thanks for watching and bye.